I'm here with head coach Gary Bailey. Thanks for taking a few minutes out of your day to talk to me today.
My pleasure.
I just got a few questions for him a couple weeks before the season starts. First off, Coach, in the last 8 years, Grace has won 5 regional titles, advanced to the national championship 7 times, and you came home with 5 national championships. Last season was a little different, going 17-15 and not even getting past the regional semifinals. What was the difference of last year's team compared to some of the previous years?
Well, I don't think it was a lack of talent, just a lot of youth last year, even though we had 3 or 4 seniors on the team. I think we only returned 1 starter, and some guys that the 4 years prior we had a pretty strong team, which you were a part of, and there were 4, a lot of 4-year guys on the team, and so playing time, wasn't always available. And so I think these guys, they were just, they'd been in the program, but they were thrust into the starting lineup, some of them, and they did a nice job. I mean, we played a tough schedule, and but we knew it was going to be a difficult year just because of youth, and that was probably the biggest difference. It was a disappointment not getting out of the region. Our region, I think, was probably as tough as I've seen it since I've been here. Kuiper's really been coming on in Northland International University. They just had a great year. So it was a combination of our youth and the region being a little tougher.
Tell me about this year's squad, the returning players and some of the new faces you got.
Really like this team. We have 2 seniors, Trent Carnamont and Nick Mascaro. Nick started at point for us last year, and Trent picked up some good minutes here and there. We have a really nice junior class. We've had 2 really nice recruiting classes. So returning players, like I said, Mascaro at the point. We've got other guards, Jake Blaukamp and Nick Van Loo, that got some good minutes last year. We also have more at the 3 spot. We have Travis Rader, 6'5", and then Brad Rosenzweig at 6'6", can play either outside or inside. He likes to play the post. And then Cameron Kramer at 6'7", who received good minutes inside last year. And none of these players, I would say, played huge amounts of minutes last year. I mean, I don't know that any of them even averaged 20 minutes a game last year. Could have been right in there. So they are still pretty young. Got a couple of transfers this year. One notably, Paul Tinharmsel out of Caledonia, 6'5", can just flat shoot it, and has, can just really get up. He finishes really strong. And we've learned that he's, quite a good passer here in class, in practice. And then our big man Luke McKeon, been so happy with his progress over the summer and so far this year. And I'm not forgetting anybody there. Caleb Cook, who will join us again second semester, is hopefully he's going to be as good as what we think he was when we recruited him. He played last year and will set out this first semester and join us second semester. And then as far as new faces go, Jared Bradford out of Sparta, really happy with him. We recruited him hard. He's a true point guard that can score it. And then got a couple other bigs, Austin Fader out of the Thumb area, and Shane Powell, who's right now on JV, getting some extra work, but we certainly think he could join us soon, even before the start of the season, if he's continues to progress. So a good mix. We're really a big team. This is probably the biggest team we've had here, and they're athletic. But like I said, it's youth that we're going to have to be concerned about.
So like you said, a young team. Looking at the schedule, seems to be a really tough schedule. Can you speak on that a little bit?
one of the things we've always prided ourselves on here is playing as tough a schedule as we can play. And I remember, you know, when you play the last 4 or 5 years, we could look at a schedule and say, and say, here's a win, maybe here, maybe there. And looking at this year's schedule, we weren't able to circle any teams for a couple of reasons. One is, like I said, our region is getting better and better and better. I don't think we're getting worse, or having a down year or rebuilding year. I just think that teams are recruiting better, the kids are staying. You see more longevity with the coaches in our region, which certainly helps with recruiting. And so with our region being tougher, there's no gimmies anymore. And we've gone out and we still play some of the toughest teams around. I think in the NAIA with Davenport, Cornerstone, Aquinas around here, you've got some of the best teams in the country every year. And then Division III, although we may not play Calvin this year, we're in a tournament with them. If they win the first game and we win the first game, we would meet. But we play 3 Division II teams, all really tough out of the GLIAC, Saginaw Valley State, Grand Valley, and Northern Michigan. We have an exhibition game with Western Illinois down in at their place, and I did some research on them, and I believe their last game of the year they lost to Purdue by 14. So that'll be a good experience for us. But we want to make sure our guys are being pushed every day. You can only create so much of that in practice, and you only get 2 scrimmages or exhibitions, so it's hard to duplicate that every day. And maybe tough. I mean, I certainly could see us losing some games early, but by the end of the year, we hope to peak.
Awesome. Well, thanks, Coach. Thanks for sharing your time. For those that don't know, Coach was inducted to the Hall of Fame last week at the alumni game, so congrats on that.
Thank you. It was a great honor, and I've always said I'm glad my wife didn't have to accept for me. I'm glad I'm still around and I'm able to do that.
That's right, Coach. All right. Well, on to the season.
Thanks, Corey.
You bet. Just a reminder to you guys, we're going to be webcasting most of the basketball games this year on the website, the men's basketball page, and the schedule is also on there, and there will be articles immediately after every game for you guys to stay up to date. So yeah, thanks for watching.